Hey, what's up? Welcome to the first Where's My Shoe commentary track. I don't know if anyone's ever done this kind of like a commentary on a comic kind of thing before, and I mean, I don't know why anybody would do a commentary like this, but I'm just gonna scroll through the some of the Where's My Shoe comics and talk about them. Beginning here with 281, which is the return from the very long hiatus. Not that you would tell if you're just looking at the website, which you can just scroll immediately from the previous one to this one, without even knowing that there was 3 years in between them. Although it does kind of stand out the fact that the style, the way the comic looks, totally changes in between these two. So for a little while here, I was drawing them digitally and in color, and I've switched back to doing it this way, just black and white. Uh, and there's a few reasons for that. Like, one is that it definitely takes less time to draw it this way. It still takes more time than you might think just by looking at it, but it does take less time to draw it this way as opposed to this way. Uh, but also, I just think this style kind of looks better for this comic. Like, it's usually just characters standing around talking, whereas my shoe is. And I just think this the more simple, like, black and white kind of better suits whereas my shoe. But another big, like I said, a big part of it is definitely that it takes less time as well. So this first one here, 281, this one was just moving Bagel and Stumpy Romero to the milk farm. For a while now, there's a lot of like moving the characters to the milk farm, having them all converge in this one location, and eventually they'll all get there to the milk farm. It's just taken a while, and I have made like an effort in the writing of it to kind of give each character really has their separate motivations for wanting to go to the milk farm. Like in this case, it's Bagel and Stumpy Romero trying to solve a mystery of what happened to when it gets really convoluted when you explain it. What happened when the Bagel was kidnapped in the past. It's complicated. And right here, the whole Mexi Bush Junior thing, that's basically the one remnant of their little time travel adventure. Man, this comic is crazy. Some crazy shit happens, man. I drew Bagel. She's way too tall in this panel, the bottom left one. I mean, look at her. She's like taller than the doorway. That makes no sense. She's meant to be the shortest character, and I'm just so like inconsistent with the heights of the characters sometimes. Also, Stumpy's hand. In case you've forgotten, Sid gave Stumpy his robot hand, and Stumpy attached it to his stump. And also, he's got it. It looks like the hands drawn backwards, but it's intentional that he's got two right hands. I mean, I wrote it into this panel here just to make it clear in case anyone has forgotten. I always, that kind of thing, like remembering which hand it is and which hand is missing and stuff, I always fuck that up when I'm drawing it sometimes and have to fix it later. But so next up, speaking of the milk farm, these characters have been there for what feels like a long time. I don't actually know when they got there. It's just because there's so much time in between drawing the previous comics. But man, Stella's axe has really been fucking set up for a long time, and the handcuffs too on Murphy and Julius. Like I knew when I gave Stella the axe that she was going to use it for something in the future. I didn't know what exactly. And when I handcuffed them together, I kind of knew at some point they'd have to. One of them was going to get their hand cut off to get out of those cuffs. And of course, I figured it was gonna be Murphy. I don't want to cut Julius's hand off. Murphy can lose a hand. He's already lost a face. Fuck him. uh. So what else? Oh yeah, so the axe. See, now that it's on Tumblr here, all the everything, the characters are all tagged, which is actually really useful for writing the comics as well. Because like, if I want to know the entire history of a certain character, I can just. It actually helps me to be able to click on the tag and look through. So this is the axe tag that I just clicked. So we've got. Let's see how far this goes back. And the comic goes through a few different looks as we scroll back through here. We're going backwards in time down to 203. That's where the axe first appears. And man, how did I fit that many words into a single panel? That's pretty good. I don't know. My handwriting has gotten like bigger now, and I don't think I can fit that many letters into a little panel like that now. But anyway, there's the origin of the axe. It was see, I think you probably forgot, because I'm sure I forgot at some point and had to look back to remind myself that the Shuey the fucking Shoe was the one who gave the axe to Stella. And you know, Shuey the fucking Shoe, he's the one like magical character in Where's My Shoe. So, and since he popped the axe into existence there, does that mean the axe is magical? I don't know. It could mean that, or it could not mean that. Yeah, there's Stella slamming that axe down there. See, it was established right from the beginning with the axe. It's like, she's not really that good at swinging it. She's pretty ineffective with it. Even the axe itself says so. All the way up to now, slam. It's only this one swing. Did she get lucky and cut his hand off, or was it intentional? Hey, it's a mystery, you know. It's all one big mystery. Oh, another thing with the handcuffs here. I didn't make a tag for the handcuffs. I probably should have. Then maybe I wouldn't have fucked it up like I did. Because their handcuffs definitely switch hands at a certain point. If you go back through the comics, I think they were the other way around at some point. But to be honest, it really doesn't matter. That kind of inconsistency isn't really. That's like an inconsistency with the drawing, as opposed to one with the writing. So I care more about the writing being consistent, I guess, because it really doesn't matter which one of Murphy's hands gets cut off. You know, as long as he loses one of those hands, then it's cool. So he lost the right hand. From this point forward, it'll be consistent that he's missing the right hand. Anyways, sir. So yeah, also at the milk farm, old Max Milky standing outside the door. You know, I didn't draw like another thing with this drawing in black and white with no color and stuff is that like I almost never draw backgrounds this way. Because I'm so bad at drawing backgrounds. That's the most background you get is just a door. So this one kind of, I like when I can do this, like kind of overlap the comic with the previous one, so that him yelling "my hand" is happening at the same time as this one in the previous page. But Max Milky, I think I wrote it, where is it? Yeah, in the second panel, she recaps the fact that she got covered in mud and shit, in case anyone forgot. I do that a lot. I feel like I'll just have a character kind of recap quickly in one panel the events of what's happened, what things that have happened previously. I got to do that sometimes to kind of remind whoever's reading this, and to remind myself a little bit too. I like this floating Papa Milky head. I gotta have that floating head appear more often. Max Milky's the only character who has like these like internal monologues here. Pretty much. I think it's rare that the other characters you hear what they're thinking. It's usually Max Milky. And anyways, So Max Milky, she's gonna go into the door until she hears him screaming. Then she realizes she has to go get a weapon from Papa Milky's shed. That's what happens in that one. So meanwhile, Watermelon Head is walking around. He tore his clothes off in a previous comic. That was kind of to show that I wanted to keep reminding everyone that he has that shoe hunter symbol tattooed on his chest. And also I did it so I can give him a new costume coming up. Same thing with Sue and Sid. The reason they start stripping in the next few pages is just so that I can change. This was to show that the scars that they have, and also that they have those same matching tattoos as Watermelon Head. And that was the reason for that. Anyways, I'm jumping ahead. Watermelon Head will put on clothes pretty soon. Same with Sue and Sid. Anyway, so Watermelon Head ends up back at his old house. It was weird. I thought when I drew this house, I thought I hadn't ever shown the full house before, but there actually is one previous page where I drew the whole house. And I mean, it's a pretty generic looking house anyway, because I never draw like big. I rarely draw like establishing shots and stuff. But I kind of had to show the house just for this one shot here. So anyways, Watermelon Head, of course, he is drawn back to his old house, inside of which is Sue and Sid and Charlie. Anyways, there's exposition here of Ted explaining like it's your fucking house and stuff, just to remind, so everybody knows. Also, the tacos are there that Bagel left. There's a lot of like characters just missing each other. Bagel and Watermelon Head. Oh, see, Watermelon Head also says Glosp instead of Gosp. I try to only have Watermelon Head and Bagel say Glosp instead of Gosp. Although I've probably broken that rule before, just forgetting about it. It's a pretty loose rule. Oh, there's another catchphrase too, no probs. I actually did make a tag for that one, no probs. Let's check out the no probs tag. Because, let's see, 285, 218, it's been a while since a no probs has been said. It's usually said, like, from someone off screen as well, see? Right, no probs, off screen, there it's off screen. There it's off screen. There it's off screen, yeah. See, it's almost always said off screen, except for this one time. I guess I fucked up this one time. I should have had him standing out of the panel. It's weird to say off screen talking about a comic. Maybe, I don't know. I don't care about using the right words, I guess. I don't know. Is anyone even listening to this? I don't know. Or watching? I forgot that this is a video. There's actually visuals for this commentary. Anyways, so one thing, since it's not in color, I don't get that sweet gradient on hold on, let me scroll down to like sweet gradient on Charlie's head there. I can't really show that in the black and white version. Not that it really matters. So, yep, Charlie's shirt is ruined. Charlie's changing costumes. Sue and Sid are changing outfits. Watermelon Head's changing his outfit. There's a few costume changes going on. People swapping clothes. Yeah, I wanted to show Sid and Sue's scars to kind of, as a reminder of the things that have happened to them previously. And also in the next one, I wanted to show that they both were kind of branded as well with that shoe hunter symbol. This panel with Sid getting stabbed through the chest is actually like, it's copied from the previous comic where he got stabbed. Hold on, maybe I can. I'm not gonna go. It's not tagged that specifically. I'd have to scroll back through a bunch of comics to find it. But the actually, you know what? I'm gonna look it up right now and then just edit out the part of me where I'm looking it up. Okay, here it is. Check it out. Sid getting stabbed through the chest with a sword by the Watermelon Head. I think this is the first time I showed him with that tattoo on his chest as well. This is where that was established. But yeah, so Sid getting stabbed, saying "huh" as he got stabbed. So I just redrew it, but without the. He doesn't have that RoboCop head helmet piece on there, because this is just like the way Sue is remembering it. Is why I didn't want to draw him in the RoboCop outfit again. Just I don't know. I felt like that would have just added an extra layer of confusion to the to that part. I just thought it was funny to show her going like, hey, remember when he got stabbed in the chest? So Charlie gets Sid's shirt, Sue's pants, and he's gonna get Watermelon Head's old hat apparently out of that box coming up, or somebody's hat. I guess we don't know whose hat it could be. Watermelon Head's old hat. It could be. Maybe it's Shuey the fucking Shoe's old hat. Who knows? Like, I actually don't know at this point. But then, so there's a little flashback here to Sue and Sid as kids. I think I've shown them at more different ages than any other character, because I've drawn them as babies in a previous comic as well. So at 3 different time periods, I've shown Sue and Sid. They're the only characters for who that I've done that. But so this was just to show their tattoos, and Sue has the gun taped to her back, Die Hard style. You know, I wanted to like establish that she still has that gun, even when it looks like she has nowhere that she could be holding the gun. She still has it with her. It's just on her back at all times, from this point forward. Oh yeah, Sue and Sid are gay. It just kind of came up like organically, I guess is the word. While writing the scene, it just kind of came up. So I guess I've known for a while that Sue and Sid are both gay, and it just like never really came up. It's not like I knew that from the beginning or really even thought about it. But yeah. Anyway, it'll probably like never come up again. It's not really important to the Where's My Shoe plot, to be honest. But so then Watermelon Head is coming in downstairs. Here's another spot where it overlaps with the previous page. He's like, "This is a tasty taco." So he was overhearing him at the same time from up in the attic. And then, oh yeah, this Watermelon Head has a corn tattoo on his arm. It would have been funnier to have that tattoo on his back, I think. But I had like I'd shown his back in an earlier page, and that kind of that was too much of an inconsistency for me to suddenly put a corn tattoo on his back. You know, that would have bothered me. But putting a smaller tattoo on his arm for this one joke is fine though. You know, that's like a weird. I know there's a weird rules. Sometimes I want to be really consistent. Sometimes I'll give him a corn tattoo on his arm for a joke, you know, whatever. That corn tattoo is just a joke anyway. It's not gonna. We'll probably never see it again. The corn tattoo. It's on like the underside of his arm, so you don't really see it. I'll just say, unless he puts his arms up at a later point, maybe we'll see it again. I don't know. So Ted. There's another instance where it's a character basically recapping what has happened to them previously. Ted talking about how Watermelon Head fucking stabbed him to death, put his body in that coffin, which is actually a coffee table. That happened. That happened a long time ago. In fact, let's look at that page right now. Okay, here it is. Watermelon House Part 3. Wow, this fucking comic was drawn in 2009. February 2009. That's a long time ago. I can't even figure out how long ago it is. It's too many. That's like too many numbers to calculate for me. But yeah, Ted punched Watermelon Head in the face, and then Watermelon Head killed Ted. Ted's final word was heh, because he's always saying heh. He's always talking about bread sometimes too, like. There's other ones where he's like, "My name's Ted, I'm eating some bread," or something. I don't know. Anyway, Ted's dead, baby. Ted's dead. Watermelon Head really stabbed the shit out of this guy. He's technically, I think Ted's the only one I've shown Watermelon Head killing, at least so far, in Where's My Shoe. We know he's killed other people in the past. It's just I think this is the only one we've actually seen, because obviously Sue and Sid, like, he stabbed Sid through the chest, but Sid survived. This is the only one. This guy didn't survive though. He's fucking dead. So they're going. Watermelon Head's coming up to the attic. So by the way, they're overhearing. They're listening to Watermelon Head downstairs. They're only hearing Watermelon Head yelling. Like, obviously they're not hearing Ted saying anything, because Ted is in his head, because Ted's dead. Head Ted is dead. Oh yeah. So the fucking Watermelon Head's come upstairs, and then that's when they find there's a box of clothes right there. So, like, Charlie didn't even need to steal Sue and Sid's clothes. He could have just fucking got clothes out of that box. What a dick. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention, he also, like, cut up both of their t-shirts and made them into one shirt. So if this was in color, you'd actually see that it'd be like two different colors on his new shirt. So it left in the O from the LOL from the LOL shirt. That's from Sid's shirt. And he snipped out the ruffle off of Sue's t-shirt. Yep, it's very convoluted. I know, it's meant to be. I like doing it. I like making it as convoluted and absurd as possible. But I was also laying in the little details of him saying he's a tailor and stuff for what comes up with him changing his identity, which he has done at this point. As soon as he puts on that hat, that completes his transformation into Charlie. I am a Charlie the tailor. Oh. So Charlie the Chinese is dead now. He died. This is according to Charlie, who's now Tarly. He's basically changed his identity. He's become Tarly the tailor. You know, that's what Charlie does. He just puts on a new costume, a new hat, becomes a different person. That's a common occurrence in Where's My Shoe, because Watermelon Head does that all the time as well. He just puts on a different costume, and then he's like, my name is Dr. Willis, and he just becomes a different person. There's a lot of that going on. So this is the first 12-panel page of this new batch. I kind of like the 12-panel pages more, because I can fit more things in them, I guess. The 6-panel ones are when I want to put a bunch of words in one panel. The 12-panel ones kind of can have a little more action happening. So they actually jump out the window in this one. Sue apparently breaks his knees, or only breaks one of them, as we'll come to see, because Sue fucking lands on his leg. Anytime I have to draw something that isn't just people standing around talking, like any kind of action, it just looks kind of funny to me. This bad drawing of them jumping out the window. And Charlie gave her a bag of clothes, just so they'll be eventually they'll put on those clothes. They'll get around to it at some point. Until then, I'll have to keep drawing them in their underwear, which takes longer than drawing someone just wearing a shirt, by the way. So anyway, Watermelon Head meets Tarly in the attic. This is a new combination of characters. They've never had a scene together, Watermelon Head and Charlie. So this will be interesting to see what happens with those two. But this is where we leave them for now. On this little cliffhanger of Watermelon Head meeting Tarly the tailor. What's gonna happen with those two? I don't even know. Actually, I do know. At this point, I pretty much know everything that's going to happen all the way to the end of Where's My Shoe. So I've actually written, like, scripted up to number 300, and then I've just outlined everything else that happens all the way to the end. So that means I've written, like, the plot details of what's going to happen. I didn't write any of the dialogue and stuff. So it'll I think after it's all done, it'll be interesting. I'll post that outline that I've written now and see, like, how much I stuck to it and how much I changed. Because this is definitely the most I've ever planned ahead at this point. So like, in earlier Where's My Shoe comics, like something like Charlie giving this bag to Sue, like I in older comics I wouldn't have even known what's in that bag. That's something where I'm like, I'll just have him give her a bag, and then I'm like, I'll figure out what's in the bag later. I mean, he says it's clothes, but like, what kind of clothes, you know? I'll but at this point I actually know exactly what clothes are in that bag, and what I know what Sue and Sid are gonna wear in it coming up. Anyways, we'll get to that. Yeah, Sue landed on Sid's fucking leg, so he's missing a hand. His leg is broken. he's apparently missing a nipple. I don't know if he's missing a nipple or if he just has a band-aid over it. It's probably just a band-aid over it for some reason. It's not important. It'll never be explained. This this part about the fucking tree. I feel like I wrote that little Sue and Sid dialogue like years ago. And I think in a different context, and I finally got to use it. It was so important that I got to have this Sue talking about, I don't read the giving tree, I read the fucking tree. Anyways, yeah, that last panel is pretty funny. But Splinter Sue says she'll make a splint for Sid's leg, which she does. Oh, which also, of course, because he broke his leg and bled all over bled all over his pants. You know, obviously he had to take his pants off to put that splint on there. So that finally, both Sue and Sid are in their underwear. We finally got there. We finally got to that point. Just so in the next page they can put clothes on. Actually, it won't be on the very next page, but it'll be before 300 at least. I'll say that. So yeah, here we are at the end. Sue and Sid, we come in full circle back to Bagel, Stumpy Romero. They all run into each other. Also, a little reminder here that Sue and Sid, their motivation right now is they're supposed to find Shuey the fucking shoe for the mysterious shoe hunter. You know, that's I had to like kind of re-explain that here in this one. So they decide they're gonna stick with Bagel because they know of her connection to Shuey the fucking shoe. So all four of these characters are now also heading to the milk farm. Who else? Well, that's everybody except Watermelon Head and Charlie. They need a. I haven't given that. Well, actually, Watermelon Head was already headed to the milk farm, so we're almost there. Well, soon they'll all be at the goddamn milk farm, and then we can move on to the final. I will say, like, by around 300, I think. No, actually, no. It'll be like just after 300. They'll all be at the fucking milk farm finally. It's taken a long time to get there, you know. I mean, who knows how far away the milk farm is from wherever they are now? Because it's not like there's a map of the weird Where's My Shoe town. There's no clear geography to to Where's My Shoe town. There's not even a clear town name. I guess the town was called One Shoe. Like I did name it that at some point, but it's only been said like one time that I can remember. It's not clearly established. Also, this cow here who's like, milk storms are brewing at the old milk farm. Just kidding. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I like to just paraphrase the Where's My Shoe dialogue rather than read exact quotes. But this fucking cow. So I think I've done that exact, like, similar joke before. Let's click the. Good thing I made a tag for a cow. It's not the cow. It's just a cow, because I don't even know if it's necessarily the same cow each time. I mean, let's take a look. It definitely looks different each time. Like, this is probably the best looking cow that I've drawn. It looks better than this one, and way better than this one. Like, so this one has horns, so maybe that's a different cow than the other two. I'm gonna say these two cows are the same ones. You heard it here first. So that final panel there is pretty much the same as this one from 234. Holy shit, that's a long time ago. I didn't even put the date at this point on the comics, but I'm guessing this was drawn in like 2010, maybe 10 or 11. It was a while ago. Yeah, see, this here is just when Stella and Gertie the Ghost Talker got to the milk farm. It's been a while. It's after she poured that milk all over Stella's hair. That's how they were led to the milk farm. So I'm just pointing out, each character has a clear, maybe clear is, I'll put clear in quotes. Each character has a clear motivation for wanting to go to the milk farm. It's not, so it's very convoluted and ridiculous and absurd, but it all does weirdly make sense and tie together. Even like as I outlined the rest of the story, I was kind of surprised how much everything tied together and made sense in the end. There's with like all the weird, crazy shit that happens. Oh yeah, and of course the other character who's not yet headed to the milk farm is kind of the titular character, Shui the fucking Shu. We'll check in on Shui the fucking Shu at some point before number 300. I think I'll do the next one of these commentaries, if I do another one. Who knows? You let me know what you think of this commentary, if you actually listened to the whole thing and if it was worth it. But I think when I do the next one, I'll do it after 299. I think there'll be some stuff, because this actually took longer than I expected to kind of scroll through, and there's other things I didn't even mention. But so yeah, I'll come back after 299, which will be like number 299 is actually going to be like multiple pages long. 297 might be as well. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. The page count will kind of change as I get there. And then 300 is going to be like 10 pages long or something crazy like that. 300 is going to be like a big one, so I'll do like a separate commentary just for number 300 because of all the crazy shit that's going to happen in that one. It'll be fun to draw. I think up until like 298 or 99 though, there'll be single pages or like 6 panels like this, and then there'll be like some big multi-page comics coming at you as all the characters finally complete their long journey to the goddamn milk farm, and then we'll see what happens once they get there. Some of the characters are already there, of course, and kind of just waiting around for the plot to continue. Sometimes that's how we roll in Where's My Shoe. Sometimes characters just like to stand around talking about Splinter. Fuck. How do I end this? Thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time, and keep looking for that shoe.